What is up, everyone? I'm coming on here for a couple of plays for today, and we are on an absolute heater, you guys. No way around it. An absolute heater. A 8.75x we just cashed, a 6x, a 4x, pretty much back to back to back. Really, that as simply put as it is, we are on an absolute heater, crushing it. We're crushing it on sites like Sleeper, sites like Better. We have some setups as well. Now, the day before that, we cashed 8x here, 5x here, 5x here as well, right? So cash the day before, cash right here with a 8.5x and a 5.25x right here as well. This is the day before that. And then the day before that, a 10x, and I believe this was a 6x, right? So literally 4 days in a row, right? You have yesterday, you have the day before that, you have the day before that, and then you have the day before that. And all these days have been 10, 15 unit days. They've been very consistent days. We've cashed a lot of these 4-mans, a lot of these 3-mans finally. And I've told you guys about these ups and downs that we have had. We've had a lot. We literally, if you go back last week, we had a lot of days where we missed by 0.5. We missed by one leg not hitting. And I told you guys we were eventually going to find our stride. And I didn't know when it was going to be. I didn't know if it was going to be in the next month or, if it was going to take a couple of weeks or what. But we have definitely found our stride here. So all I ask you to do in today's video is go ahead and go down and like and comment on this video. If you do that, you'll get a signed Tyrese Maxey jersey giveaway right here at the end of April. So towards the end of April, we're getting there, right? We have a couple more days left in April, really just like a week left in April. And you guys will be getting this giveaway towards the end of April. All you have to do is like and comment on this video for that. And you'll be entered to win that giveaway. And every single day you do so, you'll get one additional raffle ticket. Now, if you could comment down below, if you are cashing these entries, if you're on the VIP, I greatly appreciate you guys if you would go down below and talk about the VIP, talk about cashing on the VIP, your experience with the VIP, whatever it is. Now, one more thing before I get into the picks. This is going to be as good as it gets, guys. 1 week of VIP. I'm doing a $5 VIP special, all right? So again, I talked about, if you're in the VIP, go ahead and comment down below, but I do not want anyone missing out on the VIP, all right? So if you're watching these videos every day, if you're on the sidelines, pretty much what the VIP is, guys, is it's going to be 8 to 10 plays a day, and it's going to be using correlation like soccer, like League of Legends, Counter-Strike. I'm going to have a little bit of NBA in there with sites like Better and Sleeper, and you're going to get all of my plays, all right? So these are all of my plays for a week, no questions asked, and it's just for a $5 bill, all right? So again, I'm not going to make it free, but a $5 bill is pretty much as good as it's going to get, right? If you don't want to commit $5 to potentially, having this be a long-term strategy where you can grow accounts like on Sleeper, like on Better, like on Onyx Odds, like on PrizePicks Underdog, I don't know what to tell you. So get into the VIP for $5. There's going to be limited spots here. I did go ahead and open up like 40 or 50 spots, so there should be a good amount of spots, a good amount of runway, but again, I don't know, right? This could fill up, but again, all it is a $5 bill, guys, to get into the VIP for a full week. You're going to get all of my plays up until the end of April, so go ahead and do that. That's going to be down the first link in the description, okay? Now, again, rounding out the rest of the day, I don't want to spend too much on this, but we did cash on Sleeper right here. We cashed these two guys on Sleeper, which is really nice to see. And then we cashed these two guys on Better right here with SGA and Crims. Both these guys go under on Better. And then we also have a setup with soccer, right? So here's a setup. Any of these like white emojis right here with the white circle, that means a DMP. So this guy did not participate. And then right here, these guys actually cashed together. Yun and Viper both cashed together. Viper only had like, I think 7 or 8 kills. Yun, I think, only had like 5 kills. The person who had all the kills on BLG was Knight. Knight had like 19 kills or something. He had 15 kills in the first game, so that did cause yesterday's play that I talked about to go under. But it was kind of the right idea in a sense where I'm gonna scratch that. It really wasn't the right idea. It was a good play taking the under. It did bump down to I think 22. It definitely bumped to 22.5. But Knight just had an insane game, and he had like 20 kills, and that's going to happen sometimes. I told you guys they're one of the best teams in the world, some of the best players in the world on this team. But we did have this go under together, and then these guys ended up DMPing, so it doesn't matter, right? We get a refund anyway on this play, and then I think we had a refund on another play, and then these guys actually went under together, so I took the overs. These guys go under together, so if anything is looking a little bit different than it is, right, with the X's and the emojis and stuff, and actually some of this stuff is kind of like AI generated because I'm using this slip and I'm putting in what it is. It's because I'm in Japan for the week, you guys, so still cashing while I'm in Japan for the week, and I'm still trying to send out as many plays as possible, and obviously do all the research and everything possible. And I've been in Japan for like 3 or 4 days, and this is what we've been able to accomplish. So yeah, been very good trip so far. Again, in Japan, I'm not able to take these entries, but I am able to send them out. I'm able to do my research and stuff, and I'm able to link it to you guys. So that's really all you need, right? As far as just getting the screenshots, that can be a little bit difficult, but I do have a couple of people helping me out, which really helps a lot. Now, rounding out the day, guys, the only thing that was probably the most unfortunate thing was Cason Wallace does go under, unfortunately. He literally gets 0 points, okay? He had 6 rebounds and 0 points. He went 0 for 2 from the 3, and that is all the shots he took. He took 2 shots, 2 threes, both missed. If he hits 1 3, that does go over at 9. So that was an unfortunate play. I really think this was a decent play. Him only shooting 2 times was unfortunate. I really thought he would at least get 4 to 6 shots up, but he did not. And yeah, he got 0 points. So it's going to be really hard to cash points, rebounds when you get 0 points. He got 6 rebounds, so the volume was there. Royce O'Neal, simply put, guys, I thought he would play about 20 minutes. He ended up playing mid 30 minutes, okay? So he ended up getting a little bit hot as far as points go, and they just kept kind of riding the hot hand, and they just played him for most of the game, and they played him like 33, 35 minutes. So he got way more minutes than I thought. Now, with that being said, Cade Cunningham was a really good call. I think he gets 11 assists, and then Peyton Pritchard yesterday was also a really good call as well, and I think he gets 10 rebounds, assists right there, okay? So with all that being said, guys, I got you guys that pass to get into the VIP for $5. If you guys also want to get into the VIP with an app like Polymarket or an app like Bovada, you can also do so. It's really simple. The steps are here on the screen, guys. You text me Bovada or Polymarket with Poly down here. My number is going to be right here on the screen or up here. Text me Bovada and you'll get 2 free months of the VIP. All that takes is a $20 deposit, and you're going to get Cash App your Venmo back. All right, so this is another way to get into the VIP for free, 2 months free of the VIP. All you have to do is sign up for Bovada. So you have to make sure that you do not have a Bovada account yet. Obviously, if you don't have that, you can take advantage of that. If you already have a Bovada account, I'm sorry, but there's probably other apps you can sign up for as well, like Sleeper, right, which I've talked a lot about, and then like Better, which actually is going to be the first pick of the day here, okay? So we have been absolutely dominating Better, all right? And I do not say that lightly. We have been killing Better the past couple of weeks or whatever it is. I can't find it. I thought I had it, but a couple of days ago I showed actually me just scrolling through my phone, and we were like, I kid you not, we were 11-1 at one point on Better. Now I think we've had like 1 or 2 losses since, but we're still like 14-3 or something over the past 17 entries on Better. We have destroyed Better recently, and yesterday we also cashed on Better, like I showed, right? We cashed right here with SGA and Crims, and then the only thing that missed was actually Paolo to go. He did go under. I think he had like 25 points and rebounds, so he was really close there. Now, on Better today, there is a Jokic massive discount, all right? So Jokic is discounted down to 0.5 points rebounds, and I just think it's really funny that they not only discounted his points down to 0.5, but they gave him points rebounds down to 0.5. Again, you could have given him 0.5 assists, 0.5 rebounds, 0.5 points, 0.5 anything, and he would have instantly cashed this within like 3 minutes of the game starting. But I just think it's funny that they give him points and rebounds just on top of it. So again, this is very obvious that he's going to cash this within literally probably a minute of playing basketball. So this is the freest pick I've ever seen in my life. We're going to obviously take that. Now, what's important to understand too on Better, guys, is that there's a free pick here, and then all 3 of these picks, which are also happening, which I'm going to be sending out to my VIP, right? So this is why I tell you guys to get into these $5 passes or these 1 month, 2 month free. All of these picks, they're not free picks where it's like 0.5, where you just need Donovan Mitchell to get 0.5 points, but they're heavily discounted down, right? Maybe Donovan Mitchell's line's like 25, and he'll be discounted down to like 21 or something like that. So these are 3 additional picks on Better today that are also discounted that we're going to be taking. Again, that's going to be VIP exclusive. And then what we're pairing with Jokic, the first pick on Better, which is going to be the free play, is KD to go under 17.5 field goal attempted. I should have probably pulled up some graphs and some knowledge base about why I like this play so much, but I really like this play. I took this play a couple of days ago, and I believe he only had like 14 field goal attempts, and that was actually a game where he was shooting the ball ball quite a lot, or just, he was kind of doing well offensively. And I just think this is simply way too high. All right. I think this should be probably set more at like 15.5 than 17.5, which is a huge difference. Better is another one, guys, that you can sign up with, get $10 free. So you just claim a literally free $10. Or hand you $10 to just make an account. You just put in your email and password, and you just get handed a free $10. It's kind of crazy. And then you'll get up to a $200 deposit bonus on your first deposit. So if you put in 200, you get another 200. All right. So you can actually get a free 10, and then you can get a free $200. So that's a free $210 that you could be claiming on Better today. Again, my code is detective, but I highly recommend that if you do want to sign up for any of these apps, just text me first, right? Text me Better. My number's right here, and I'll get you in. I'll get you the link and everything's set up. And it's just so you cover your bases and you're able to claim that one free month. All right. Really simple stuff, guys. And then the second play of the day, we're going to take Rudy Gobert to go under 12.5 points and rebounds, assists, and then we're going to take Shaedon Sharpe to go over 11.5 points and assists. Okay, and let's get into why I like these plays so much. I think the first pick, or the first thing that I do want to show, if I can go to Rudy here, is just very simple stuff here, right? So his line is at 10.5 points right now, and that's what his point line is, and then his assist line is at 1.5. Okay. Sorry. I meant to show that his rebounds is at 10.5, right? His points and his rebound line is the same, and it got me kind of confused. But his rebound line is at 10.5. His assist line is at 1.5. If you add up 10.5 plus 1.5, that is 12. So we are taking his rebounds and assists at under 12.5, right? So PrizePicks is literally showing you right here that his rebound line is at 10.5. His assist line is at 1.5. If you add those two up together, which is literally the line that we are betting on, it should be 12. And we're betting it at 12.5. Now, that might not sound like a big deal, and this is something I say all the time, but it might not sound like a big deal. Okay, we're getting at 12.5, but his line should actually be 12. Who cares, man? That's not that big of a deal. Give me some plays that actually, make sense, or actually like some big gaps, okay? But I'm telling you guys, these 0.5 differences in the NBA, especially with someone who's going to be playing in that last kind of phase of the game, in the last 5-10 minutes of the game, it makes all the freaking difference getting a 0.5 discount. All right. If he gets 12 rebounds versus 13 rebounds, it's a completely different game. Okay. It means that you hit versus you miss, which is massive. Okay. So really, really good play here. You will see that Rudy, this is probably my favorite play of the day, just to be honest with you guys. You will see that the other game, he's played 2 games in these series, right? This is another thing to understand about NBA. When we're in game 3 now, you have a lot of data to work with, right? You have 2 games back to back. They literally have played 2 games in the past 5 days, and you have a lot of information now to work with, right? This is great. Game 1, it's a little bit different. You have no idea how many minutes these guys are going to play and whatnot. But you'll see that game 1, he plays 38 minutes, and they take down his minutes to 27. Okay, so they played 37 minutes, and then they took his minutes down by 10, all the way down to 27. Now, what's important about this is they actually lose game 1, where Rudy's playing most of the game, and then they win game 2, where Rudy is not playing most of the game and he only plays 27 minutes. Okay, now you have to think like a front office of a NBA caliber team, right? A playoff caliber team. If you have Rudy playing 37 minutes and they lose, and then one game they have him playing 10 less minutes and they win, right? I'm not saying that Rudy's a bad player. I'm just saying, as a team, as a coach, as an organization, they're playing different, smaller lineups and stuff, and they end up winning. That is a green flag that Rudy is probably going to not get as many minutes, and he's probably going to go under this line. Now, it doesn't even really matter because he got 37 minutes and he still only got 12 a couple of games ago. So this is just generally a very difficult matchup for him. He obviously is facing Jokic, and then he is also facing Aaron Gordon, who is a pretty good defender in himself as the power forward of the Nuggets. Okay, so this is just a solid matchup for him, and it's very hard to get rebounds on this team already. It's hard to get assists on this team already. And then again, I do think that his minute share is probably going to be around 30 to 32. So I think it's going to be in the middle of these two, 37. Then he was at 27. I think it will probably be at about 30 to 32. Now, with Shaedon Sharpe, I actually think that this is kind of what I talked about with Rudy, but I think the opposite is going to happen. And let me explain to you what I mean by that, okay? And if I could look at his points in rebounds, this would be better because his points and assists, because this is what I took, right? So sorry guys, I cannot take his, there it is, points and assists, okay? So his points and assists is right here. You will see over the past 5 games, he has missed, hit, missed, okay? And obviously his 2 games against the Spurs so far, because it's 2 games into the series. Really what happened with Shaedon is that he was playing a lot of minutes, like he was playing like 25, 30 minutes a game, and then he gets injured right here in this Grizzlies game, and he misses 10 games, and now he's on a more limited minute share, right, where he's only getting about 17 to 20 minutes a game. Now, if you look at the last game he played, he only got 12.7 minutes, and I personally think there's a lot of, there's speculation about why he only played 12.5 minutes, but I personally think the reason why he played so few minutes is because Scoot Henderson got 31 points. So Scoot was just absolutely popping off. It was one of the best games of his career, and I do not think Scoot is going to get another 30-plus point game. So I think Shaedon Sharpe is probably going to get one more rotation, and what I mean by that is like he's going to come in one more time than he did last game and probably play an additional 6 or 7 minutes, and I do think that that would put him over this line. And even with 12 minutes, guys, he's still at 9 points, which is pretty freaking respectable. Wimby is now out of this game, which is obviously going to be good for the opponent's offense, right? When the defensive player of the year got a concussion, it's going to be good for the other team offensively, right? So if you guys do not know, I'm a Spurs fan. I'm from San Antonio, so I'm worried about the Spurs, guys. I don't know, right? Are the Spurs going to be able to take this series as easy as we thought? But with that being said, I do think that's going to open the game up a lot for the Trailblazers, and people like Shaedon Sharpe to go ahead, drive in, get some more easy points, and not have a 7-5 freak of nature, blocking your points and stuff. Okay, so I kind of think with Rudy, I kind of think that his minutes are going to keep going down, and I think with Shaedon Sharpe, his minutes are actually going to bounce back up to around this like 18 to 20 minute mark, like we've been seeing, and I think getting that extra 6 minutes is probably going to go ahead and put him over here. Again, nothing is guaranteed in sports betting. That's why I like to talk about these 0.5 differences and stuff. Over the long term, guys, if you're able to beat the books by 0.5 to 1 point every single line that you take, that's called closing line value, and you're going to be in really, really good shape. All right. So ending off the video here, guys, this is the first pick. This is the second pick here with a really free Jokic line tomorrow. And then you can obviously sign up for Bovada to get into the VIP, guys. You can sign up for Better like we talked about, and you can also just get this easy $5 entry right here to get a 1-week special into my VIP, no questions asked. My number is everywhere on the screen in the description, so if you have any questions about anything I talked about today, text me, shoot me a text. It's my personal number. I'll respond to you within 5 to 10 minutes and get that question answered. I appreciate you guys. Let's keep cashing, especially on the VIP, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video.